If you're looking to re-enter the paid workforce after your career break, you know how overwhelming the process can feel, especially if you're trying to pivot careers on top of it. It can feel like the odds are stacked against you. I know because I have been in your shoes. And today I'm going to share with you some advice I wish I would have known back when I was navigating my own journey. And it's the same advice that I share with my clients. Hi, I'm Laura, and I'm here to take your job search from stressful to successful. And the first insight is that your goal should not be to get from point A to point Z in one leap. Instead, you should be focusing on those small steps from point A to point B, then from point B to point C. When you break down anything in life into smaller bite-sized chunks, it's going to be much more manageable. So if you are thinking of returning to the paid workforce and you're like, okay, so now I've got to find a job. No, that's going to just stress you out and have you feel so overwhelmed. Instead, I want you to think small. I want you to think, okay, first step, what is it that I even want to do? Get clear on that. Second step, how do I find people who can give me that career clarity? And when you break those down into chunks, you can say, I can do that. And having that empowerment and control over the process is a game changer. And if you are looking for a well thought out, actionable plan, then check out my Career Relaunch Blueprint, which is an online course geared specifically for you. And I have a link in the description below. And insight number 2 is that you should be leaning on your network that you have made during your career break. Of course, reach out to people that you had before you stepped away from your career, but don't discount the people and the connections that you have made during your time away from the paid workforce. I see this a lot because people think, well, yeah, but they don't work at a company I want to work for, or they're not in a profession that I want to pursue. Here's the thing, you don't know who they know. And here's a great example. I had a former workshop participant let me know that she had landed a job that she had been targeting for a while and one that she was really excited about. And when I asked, okay, well, how did you find this position? It wasn't, oh, I knew somebody at the company. No, she started with her hairdresser. Yes, her hairdresser. She was talking about the fact that this is what she wanted to go into. And her hairdresser said, you know what? I know somebody in that profession. So she hooked her up with that contact. And then that contact gave her a little bit more information and said, you know what? I actually know somebody who works at that specific company. And from there, she got her foot in the door and had an interview. So don't discount somebody just because you assume that they don't have the information to help you, because you will be surprised. In fact, weak ties are actually even more beneficial because they're not within your small sphere. And insight number 3 is to know yourself and know what you want before you start applying. You need to get clear. I know it is so tempting to just hit that apply button, right? Because then you feel as though you're productive. You've got the process started. But is it a job you even really want, or are you just hoping that something will stick? So imagine going on a road trip, and yes, there are people who are like, you know what, wherever the winds may take me. But a lot more people are like, look, I need to get to that destination, and I need the fastest route, and I need the clearest route. Now, most people fall into that camp when it comes to their job search. But to get to that clear destination, you have to clearly know what the destination is. So take the time up front to determine what it is that you want and need from your next position. And ask yourself how that position, that job opportunity, fits into your overall definition of what a fulfilling life is. And my next piece of advice is to talk to yourself as you would your child or a good friend. Look, they don't call it a job search journey for nothing. With any journey, there are going to be highs, there are going to be lows, there are going to be obstacles. You might go off the beaten path, and there are times it can be easy to just feel down, to feel like this is impossible or this doesn't even seem to be worth it. But I want you to think about how you would talk to your child or talk to a good friend if they came to you with these same concerns or doubts. If you were meeting with a friend and she's like, you know what, there's great opportunity came up at work, but there's just no point in me even trying because I don't have the exact skills they're looking for. Besides, there's better candidates. You would you would probably not tell her, yeah, don't even try. No. You would tell her, you know what? You are amazing. You do have a lot of skills and experience and abilities they'd be lucky to have. Talk to yourself like that too. Realize all the amazing attributes that you have and how they can benefit a company because you need to show the same level of support and love and care for yourself that you do for the people that you love the most. And finally, I want you to own the fact that if you have figured out how to be a caregiver, how to be a parent, then you can figure out a job search. Seriously, I truly believe that being a caregiver, especially without any roadmap, without any instructions, is way more difficult than finding a job. You navigated a unknown road already. If you're a parent, if you are a caregiver, if you've had to deal with medical issues. And not only have you navigated that, you have learned, you've grown, and you've become a better and stronger person because of it. Do not think for 1 second that you can't figure out how to land a job because you can. And unfortunately, most of us were never taught how to do so. So give yourself grace. And if you are looking for a free 5-day jumpstart to get your job search off on the right foot, I've got you covered. It's in the link in the description, completely free, and it will definitely give you that boost that you need. And I want to leave you with this. Remember, millions of other people have taken career breaks and have returned to successful and fulfilling careers, and you will too.